Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 5 of What If Naruto Was Banished from Konoha and Made Them Regret It. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto had the 6-eye Sharingan and enjoyed that over an Anime King 3. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels, which I post What If on every single day. Yes, every single day for you guys to enjoy Anime King 2, Anime King 3, Anime Prince. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out, and yeah, enjoy. And don't forget to comment down below and tell me if you're new so I can reply and talk back to all of you. So without further ado, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now, guys. So, the last part that we left off. It's been 3 years. 3 years since Naruto had been training within the sand. Throughout those 3 years, Naruto has grown a lot, yes. As Temari had also grown as well. As to Naruto, she was the most beautiful girl to ever walk this earth. She was going to pick up her fan until Naruto appeared behind her. Naruto now stood at 6 feet, 4 inches. He was tall, massive, muscular in the right places and slim in the right places. He was supposed to arrive last night, but he arrived late, so they decided to make up for missing time. While they were doing that, Gaara was pissed off as the council members kept on sending people towards him to ask him about the barrier. The barrier had been messed up by one of the ninjutsu users who tried to show that he could advance it. So he sent Naruto out there, and yet Naruto had not returned. That is when Naruto returned with Temari, as he was letting the blonde get away with a lot of things, showing that he was pissed off that Naruto did not come to report to him immediately. However, Naruto was able to calm him down with his joking gesture. However, Gaara had some serious news. They had to go to Konoha, and seeing that he would not bring Naruto, he was going to make Naruto temporary Kazekage while he was gone. However, Temari will have to become the liaison of the villages, but she was angry and not pleased about that, as she ended up leaving in a rage. As Naruto went to find her, he found her at the spot that he first took her to on their first date. As she was not pleased, she was upset about everything. As they got to talk, Naruto and Temari had not been intimate over the past couple of years. The reason being, well, there was a lot of reasons, but the main one was she had told him what she desired, as she was looking forward to get married and then being with the person that she loved for the first time. As that was a dream that she wanted, and Naruto had stuck with that, as she felt like she was holding him back though, by not allowing him to experience that thing. But Naruto told him that he'd rather remain as he was, and love her as she is. As Naruto proposed, something he wanted to do for a long while now, knowing that she was the woman he wanted to spend the rest of his life with. She was taken aback by that. She immediately jumped into his arms as she kissed him, as they spent the rest of the night together. They told Kankuro and Gaara next morning as Kankuro passed out. Gaara congratulated them and warned Naruto as well to take care of his sister, which Naruto told him that he would. So with that, they brought them towards the gate, arriving towards said gate the next day. As Gaara handed the hat over, as Naruto will be temporary Kazekage, the people here respect him beyond anything, given the things that Naruto has done, as he had made the Sand Village a better village because of him. Yes, so now everything was perfect and over to him, while Gaara was gone. As Gaara made his way, though, the Akatsuki was going to make their move, attacking the village and kidnapping Naruto, so when they were ready to attack, Gaara would not have anyone to back him. But they were sorely mistaken, as they wanted to go after Gaara as well, unaware that, well, Naruto was beyond more powerful than he once was, as Kisame joked about Naruto only knowing the Shadow Clone Jutsu when they first met. He would have no idea how stronger Naruto's gotten, and faster as well. Arriving to Konoha, Tsunade could see that Gaara was not pleased with something and she didn't know what it was though. As they got to the office to talk, the elders arrived there. As they started to talk, as Danzo was fishing for information, as Gaara told them about the mysterious person that came to the village and helped them with the sealing. As Danzo was pissed off that they did not find this person. However, Gaara simply went around their question and not answer it fully, so with that they started to speak about strengthening the alliance between two villages. And in the way they were going to do that is, well, simple. They wanted a marriage proposal. Said marriage proposal was between Sasuke and Temari. Temari wanted to explode right there and then hearing that, but she kept her cool. Gaara, despite telling them that she was already engaged, they were trying to say that she could, well, call it off. And this was beneficial for the village. However, he did not outright deny it. When they got back to the hotel, Temari was upset that he did not. But he told her that it was a, well, wonderful proposal. Of course, he would not let her go through with it at all. However, he had to act like they were at least thinking about it, to keep things civil between them, otherwise it will send a bad message, as she apologized for losing herself like that. As they stayed at the village, they would have their meeting tomorrow. Temari woke up rather early as she missed waking up with the blonde beside her. But now that she was up, she decided to go for a walk in the village. As she made her way towards one of the training grounds to test out her fan there. That is when Sasuke Uchiha arrived on the scene, as he told her that they needed to talk. He was the last person that she wanted to talk with, as she wondered what the hell does he want. So yeah guys, basically let's put it off. You guys can switch across the place, check it out for yourself, and also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other series. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels, so go ahead and check them out and enjoy. So without further ado, or wasting no more time, what do you say we jump right into this? Begin now guys. Is this how the Uchiha has fallen? Stalking me while I'm training, Temari said, as Sasuke crossed his arms. However, he smirked. Yes, you are a true kunoichi, someone I can trust as my wife, unlike those fangirls who are weak and don't know what it means to be a powerful kunoichi. Let's have lunch, and we can get to know one another. As Temari scoffed at his pathetic flirting, he couldn't even match her Naruto cunning words. Every time Naruto said something romantic, it just made her heart flutter and make her want to jump on him and kiss him. All that she felt towards Uchiha right now was just disgust. She wanted to puke, because one point that she saw him for the first time. When they first came to Konoha, she thought that he was good looking. However, as her fiancé popped in her head, he was perfect. As she blushed as she thought about his body, as she could not wait for them to finally get together, for her to have him in their embrace, for them to lock together in the ultimate exception of their love. Their love was something that cannot be tested by anything that comes their way. Nothing can break it. She was truly in love. As she had a happy smile on her face, Sasuke thought he was a reason. So I will make reservation today at the best leaf restaurant. I take it that's a yes because of your blush. Temari's scoff broken out of her thoughts as she heard his words. In your dreams, Uchiha. I was thinking of my fiancé and how you could never match up to him. Me? Blushing thinking about you? Huh. That's crazy, she said, as she giggled, making Sasuke get frustrated. Don't you dare mock me, he said. I'm a Uchiha, an elite, and I'm way better than that nameless fiancé of yours, he said arrogantly, making her laugh, as that seemed to piss him off even more. Well, Mr. Elite, the difference between him and you is so massive, you could not even begin to comprehend it. I'll give you an example, she said. Sasuke fumed at her mocking him. I sensed you from 500 meters away when you were trying to hide your presence. My love could get behind me and wrap his arms around me before kissing me on the neck, and then and only then would I know that he was there. He could follow me all day without I even noticing that he was there. However, he could not stay that long away from me. We can't resist holding each other, she said, making it clear to Sasuke, who was getting angrier by the second. And besides, my brother the Kazekage said to himself, My fiancé is stronger than him. And last time I checked, you could not beat Sasuke 3 years ago, when he wasn't even a Kage and did not have complete control over his son. Sasuke clenched his fist with rage, as he remembered all those years ago, as the dope was the one that had upshined him that day. As Temari decided to deliver the final blow, and as for your nameless comment, he himself belonged to one of the most noblest and royal families in the elemental nation, directly related to a Kage. And I don't ever remember a Hokage, Uchiha, as she simply turned and walked away, knowing that Sasuke could not retort what she just said. No Uchiha had never made Kage in history. However, Sasuke's anger brought out something else as well. Lust that he found for her. She doesn't even care who he was, and she stands up for herself. That is what he was looking for, a powerful kunoichi. Someone that would be able to stand by his side. Someone that he could proudly call his wife. Oh, don't worry, Sasuke said to himself. Even if I have to beat this fiancé down to the ground, you will be my wife, he said. The final stages of the Chunin exams are being held in the sand. I guess I should go there and meet this mysterious shinobi. As he made his way to find the Nara, knowing that he was in charge of that whole thing, and he wanted some information, because Temari would be his wife, and nothing on this planet would stop that, he thought to himself. Time skip. In a land of wind, two figures were making their way. The peaceful village had no idea of the problem that was coming their way, as the two individuals smirked when they saw the walls of the hidden sand. Meanwhile, Naruto was with 7 of his shadow clones, as he still did not understand why Gaara kept on calling the paperwork Demon Spawn. Well, maybe it's because the council was taking care of the details. That is why he found it so easy. All he had to do was read and sign them. Again, within Konoha, Gaara had the urge to hunt down Naruto and make him pay, as he didn't know why these desires were coming up. Back with Naruto, he was getting bored, and he didn't know how Gaara kept himself locked up in his room, with all this paperwork and only Matsuri to talk to. She too only talked about the official stuff, and she was way too boring. He wanted Temari to come back. He missed her in his arms. Sleeping just didn't feel right without her. As Naruto sat there listening to a father, a civilian, talk about his son and daughter, that he wanted to admit them into the Shinobi Academy. As Naruto smiled at the man. Of course, said Naruto. He can join. I'll talk to the council about these rules, that civilians cannot join the Shinobi Academy, said Naruto with a smile. As the man nodded nervously, because about what he was going to ask next. Kazekage-sama, he said. She's my only daughter, and is too innocent for the killing tasks of the shinobi life. But I'm only a small merchant, and I want her to be a shinobi to have a good life, to look after herself, like her mother. I wanted her too, but is there any way that she can join, without not having to get into the gory aspect of the shinobi life, the man said nervously. As Naruto got up, the small girl was there holding on to her teddy bear. As Naruto stooped down towards her level, and what's your name, little angel? As the small child looked up, before her hand came up and started to play with Naruto's whisker marks, as she had a little teddy with marks like his as well. As she started to touch his whisker marks, making Naruto smile. The girl seemed to relax as well, as she seemed rather happy. The father was nervous knowing that this man was new Kazekage. That is why he had not come when Gaara was well in charge, as the reputation before was something that had scared him. But when he heard there was a new Kazekage, he made an appointment, and he got through right away, as he was shocked by that. As Naruto turned, as he got to his full height, Naruto was rather tall, so the man was even more nervous as Naruto towered over him. Don't worry, there are many more branches like the barrier team, the sealing team, or the medical squad, or various other branches involving zero killing. But she will be trained to kill to protect herself if she wants to be a kunoichi. That is something I cannot help with if you still want her to join the academy. The man cut Naruto off as he took his 2 hands and held on Naruto one hand and shook it in a thankful, respectful manner. That would be great, Kazekage-sama. You are very generous to go out of your way for just a civilian like me, he said gratefully as Naruto smiled. Every villager is my responsibility, said Naruto. Do not be afraid to approach me even if I'm not the Kazekage. I'll try to help in any way I can. The village is not just the buildings or the sand. It's the people, said Naruto. And if there's potential, he said, place the hand on the man's shoulder. We will bring it out. The fourth Kage was an orphan from the Hidden Leaf. And yet today he's regarded as one of their strongest Kages. Who is to know that this child might not be the next Kazekage, said Naruto. The man thanked Naruto over and over again as Naruto smiled, saying goodbye to the girl that waved goodbye towards him before they left. As Naruto pulled out the academy forms and signed it up, seeing that he was now acting Kazekage, he could make several exceptions, as the academy was a shinobi affair and it was hard to get admissions for civilians who had no ninja background. As Naruto thought about his life, as he wondered where would he have been if the old man was not there for him, things surely have changed. Yet still he was surprised how many civilians want to become a part of the less violent shinobi branches, but they were scared of the laws that were placed by the 4th Kazekage. Gaara has tried his best to change the view on Kazekage, seeing that in the past, the Kazekages were rather ruthless. As Naruto signed another form and placed over to the side, it has been 12 since yesterday now. So much young and untapped talents ready to be trained. There was a knock as Naruto called for the person to enter. Lady Chiyo and Ebizo came in as Naruto greeted them respectfully, as Naruto had spent a lot of time with these two old people, and they told him stories of the past as well, as they were also good with seals. They had helped him a lot, and they had helped him grow past their expectations. Kazekage-sama, we have received many admissions of civilian children by your orders starting from yesterday, and we have come to talk about it, she said, as Naruto nodded. Yes, I just cleared another child with a will to join one of our less violent departments. I thought it would be best for us to have more shinobis for the front line in the future to aid the frontline fighters, and they all came willingly, so I assumed that it was not a problem, and I thought that we did need to strengthen our force as well. No, it's actually quite great to be exact. You see, upon Gaara's father placing those laws, people were too afraid to step into the light and ask for the admissions, since Gaara has taken the opportunity to change majority of that. Several people are still afraid of the repercussions of what will take. However, since you started up, several people start to come out, taking better to the new law, and we have already spoken to the council about these new changes, and all of them are in agreement, Chiyo said. They were just here to, well, congratulate him. As Naruto smiled happily, they saw that he had a lot of work to do, so they would let him get back to work. As Naruto thanked them for placing their trust in him, they told him to keep up with a good job. As Chiyo paused though as she turned towards him, as she could see the 4th Hokage himself. The both of them were just so similar. Is something matter, Bachan? Said Naruto, looking towards her. Nothing, it's quite fine, she said, as she bid him a good day before she left. An hour later, as Naruto was still doing paperwork, there was an explosion. The village shook. Naruto flared his chakra in a certain pattern as the Anfu commander appeared in front of him in a kneeling position. Dragon, what the hell was that just now? Said Naruto. Kazekage-sama, the village walls have been breached. There's a blonde man on a strange bird, wearing a black cloak with red clothes on it, and he's wearing a strange contraption on his face. He's releasing some strange bombs around the village. The Akatsuki, Naruto thought. Dragon, evacuate the civilians to the underground shelter immediately, and order the Jonins to spread out and look for another breach. They always travel in pairs. If they do find another, do not engage, contain. Am I clear? Said Naruto. Dragon nodded, as he quickly made his way off towards Naruto's orders. As Naruto put on his cloak, he held his hand down towards his wrist. Poof! A kunai appeared in his hand, not just any kunai though. It was a 3-pronged kunai. As Naruto jumped through the window and flipped up to the roof, where he saw Deidara coming towards him. Huh, they made you the Kazekage, huh? Said Deidara, flying on his bird. Well, it makes it more fun to capture a Kage with my art. As Deidara threw his hat off, showing his face as Naruto recognized him right away. Deidara, the Hidden Stone Mad Bomber. An S-rank ninja wanted for bombing the Hidden Stone and stealing their Kinjutsu, personally trained by the 3rd Hokage himself, and was a prime candidate for the fort until he went rogue to expand his arts. As Deidara chuckled hearing that entry in the bingo book. The good old days. Just starting out with my art, he said. Those days of testing and creating. It was truly wonderful. I'm glad, actually honored, that you know that much about me. Now, I'm gonna need you to come with me, so there won't be any more casualties. Sorry, but that's not an option. You have already invaded and attacked the village. You won't be leaving this place, said Naruto. That is when another Akatsuki member landed beside him. I'm sorry, but I don't recognize you, said Naruto. I am Sasori of the Red Sand. You should know that being the Kazekage and all. However, I am happy to take down another Kazekage. As Naruto raised the eyebrow and him saying another, and he knew exactly who he was. He was Lady Chiyo, grandson. The one that was a beginner in the art of puppetry. In his younger days until he started to gain the taste for human puppets. She had told him everything. Another S-rank prodigy that went rogue for power. The Jonin commander appeared beside Naruto in a defensive stance. Stay back and provide cover from far away, said Naruto. Do not let any civilians come to harm. Form a perimeter, and your priority is containment. Seeing look in Naruto's eyes, the commander simply nodded, having faith in him. As he jumped back, Sasori, why did you come to the battle? I can take care of him myself, Deidara said. I heard he was named the temporary Kazekage, so I came. We will get this done right, and besides, I'm looking for a new model of a puppet. Kyuubi Jinchuriki, you still have a chance to come peacefully. Otherwise, the village shall suffer. Naruto flipped out another kunai and chucked it towards Sasori. Deidara's eyes went wide as he saw the kunai now, as he could see the details on it and the way it was shaped. Sasori, jump away! That is... Naruto appeared in a flash as he caught the kunai, Rasengan in hand. Boom! The puppet exploded. The real Sasori jumping back at last moment, avoiding destruction. As he landed, the Jonins around watched. Their Kazekage had moved with immense speed. The technique was flawless. That's right, they said. Let's go, Kazekage-sama. Take all the intruders. So that's your real face. I was surprised how you look so ugly now. And yet you were hiding behind a doll, said Naruto, looking towards Sasori. How dear. You insult my art, he said. Anger written all over him. Sasori was not able to see the kunai because of his circle puppet and not to mention the, well, darkened sky. Deidara, what the hell was that, he asked. What did you recognize? Deidara had a look of fear in his one eye that was being shown, seeing that he had a scope over the other one. Those kunais are the four Tokage kunais. That damn technique, I never thought I would see it again in my lifetime. As Sasori now realized. The Hiraishin, he said. How the hell do you know that? The fourth Tokage died a long time ago. And that jutsu died with him. How the hell does the dead last Jinchuriki know of it? Naruto did not answer as he just looked at him. Fine, don't talk. As he quickly pulled out a scroll from behind him, summoning something. The ninjas all looked on in shock. Is that? It is. The third Kazekage. They were shocked. As Naruto frowned. Pathetic. To think that you would desecrate someone's body like that. You disgust me to no ends. It's a good thing that Chobachan is currently in the shelter, and that she has left fighting otherwise. She would have cried tears to see what her beloved grandson has truly become. A cold-hearted monster. None of you understand true art. Now with this he shall live eternally and take the face of my art, Sasori said. As Naruto shook his head at the blatant disrespect, using the man as a puppet. As Naruto recalled everything that he knew about the third Kazekage, he nodded to himself. He had to keep the both of them in his eyesight, especially that mad bomber. If what he knew about him is correct, he would try to use civilians in order to capture him if it means. As Naruto could not allow that, he rushed forward. The puppet opened his mouth and released a hail of senbons. Naruto launched his kunai above. As he reappeared, he then launched another one as he appeared. However, the puppet stopped and quickly, a blade extended from its arm and slashed at Naruto's throat. As Naruto moved back just in time, when he saw something coming down, Naruto pushed himself off before vanishing as an explosion went off. keeping his eye on Deidara. "You like my art, Kyuubi," he said, looking down with a chuckle. Iron release. Iron sand drizzles, Sasori said, creating balls of sand that shot forward at blazing speeds, right towards the blonde. Naruto blurred through hand sign. "Water style," he said. "Water. Severe wave." He opened his mouth. Water exploded out as his chakra converted into it. It created a tidal wave and washed away all the attack. "You will not hurt anyone on my watch," said Naruto as he slammed his hand together. The water did not stop as it coiled up and shot over the village. Several bombs were grabbed out of mid-air as they exploded, the water containing them. The civilians who were being rushed off cheered in victory at seeing their leader. "That's the way, show them, Naruto-sama," a young child cheered out. As for the two Akatsuki members, they realized that Naruto was a true serious threat, given the recent information they had on him, which was him being a blonde idiot that could only make shadow clones. This was beyond a great, drastic improvement. Both of them did not hesitate as both of them formed their jutsus before, trying to overpower Naruto with it. Iron release, gather an assault. Explosively, C2 Dragon. The gigantic dragon came down as the iron turned into a gigantic spear to crush Naruto. Flashing through hand sign, Naruto called out water style, water dragon jutsu. The drizzle water that he used earlier, and not to mention, the ninjas were shocked when Naruto started to pull moisture from the air. Given the fact that the nights were very cold, but still, they were within the hidden sand. As they watched as the dragon grew and grew and grew, the water dragon was massive as it clashed with Deidara's dragon bomb, completely cancelling out the force. The water droplets splashing all over the village like it was raining. Deidara was shocked. His dragon should have blown that to pieces. How the hell was that water dragon so reinforced? As for Sasori, he split the iron sand down the middle, creating a lot more, as they were going to pierce Naruto until chains. Golden chains exploded from his back as they destroyed all of the spears that were heading his way, shocking both men. Deidara did not wait as he released several dozen bombs down on Naruto. They were small, but they were truly packing a punch, and all of them came raining down. Naruto blurred through hand sign fast. "Wind style, wind side jutsu," he said. Using an incredible force, Naruto blew the bomb straight over towards Sasori, who cursed and leaped away. The Jonins arrived towards Naruto's side. "We will distract the flying one, Kazekage-sama. You deal with Sasori of the Red Sands. With his flight, it's hard for you to fight them both and protect the village at the same time." Naruto nodded as several of them pull out their fans as they use wind release to get themselves near. As Naruto turned his gaze back towards Sasori, "I must say, this is not what I expected, Kyuubi Jinchuriki. For you to be such a worthy opponent." The black sand started to form and separated together into small clumps, powerful spears. As Naruto threw a handful of kunais out, Sasori narrowed his eyes towards each of them. As Naruto disappeared, Sasori saw a flash as he turned, but Naruto was gone. He saw another flash, but Naruto was gone. And another, and another. Sasori was livid as he released the iron sand. As Naruto must get caught up in this, he thought. However, nothing got hit, confused seeing that he had blanketed the area around him. Naruto was now in mid-air, looking down towards him as he launched his kunai that he just grabbed. Naruto appeared in front of the puppet and drive a Rasengan right into his chest. However, black sand swarmed it. Sasori chuckled. "You won't get through that," he said. "The defense is impenetrable. It's stronger than even the Ichibai sand. You cannot get through." However, Naruto simply extend his hand further, shocking Sasori as he was pushing. That is when he heard a sound as Naruto applied wind release. Wind style Rasengan. Sasori was shocked when Naruto tear right through and obliterate the puppets. Sasori had to leap away, fearing that he would be destroyed. Shocked beyond disbelief. How? He thought to himself. You dare destroy my precious art. For that, I will bring down destruction upon you, he said. Now witness what is known as true, perfect art. You should be honored that your eyes are able to witness this. This is what I used to conquer a village, he said. Sasori then pulled out a scroll as he threw it upwards. Performance of the 100 puppets! Open his chest compartment. Chakra threads attached to them. Hundreds puppets. Hundreds. They all seemed to create an ominous shadow from the moon. As Naruto was looking up towards the army, he then closed his eyes, blocking out all the sound, as he remembered what his father wrote in the scroll. Close your eyes and forget your emotion completely. It takes focus like no other to use this technique. But if used correctly, it can obliterate the entire army. Forget everything, imagine that there is just you and the target. Focus on the target. I know only one person that I trust will inherit this technique from me. And that's you, my son. Use it wisely. It's a technique that can turn the tides of any war. But if in the wrong hands. But I have faith in you. I trust you, my son. Inherit my legacy. As Naruto snapped open his eyes. As Naruto threw two kunai forward, Sasori saw the two of them as he scoffed with a laugh. Did he really think that he could fight the army by himself? It doesn't matter how strong he is. He will not. Sasori's musings were cut short. Kunai clone technique. Sasori watched as they multiply into a degree far beyond his expectations. When he then realized he was dealing with a Jinchuriki, he had the chakra. Sasori then felt something that he hadn't felt in a long time. Fear. As Naruto spoke, you said that your technique took down a village. A small one, I presume. My father used this technique to obliterate entire battalions of shinobis in the Third Great Shinobi War, earning him the moniker the Yellow Flash. You'll be honored, said Naruto, because today, in your final moments, you will witness the second flash. Upon hearing that Naruto was gone, what followed was the sky turning golden. Naruto was moving so fast that his shocking flashes were leaving behind a golden streak that seemed to remain for a split second, causing the entire place to become illuminated. The sky was bathed in a brilliant light. As everyone looked up, they watched as bodies, broken, beaten, destroyed bodies were falling. Sasori watched as he could feel it in his heartstrings, all of them being cut, lifeless as they fell down to the ground. As it all happened in a few seconds, Sasori was unable to react when he saw a kunai at his feet. When did that? All he saw was a flash and then it was over. As Naruto buried the kunai right into his heart box. As Sasori gazed into those blue eyes, and he uttered his final words after seeing that display. That was true art. As Naruto muttered, Hiraishin, level 3, flash step. He then staggered on his feet, feeling dizzy and out of place. As he dropped to one knee, he had to hold his ground, as he had never pushed it to that limit before. As the crowd down below was exploding with cheers, they shouted, Kazekage-sama, he's so awesome. He took down an army by himself. He saved the village. As the looks of the cheers of the people faces, the Jonins, and the few remaining civilians were nothing but delighted. As for Deidara, fear was in his eyes, as he was gazing at the second flash. I did it, father, said Naruto, as he got to his feet. As Deidara looked down as he met Naruto's eyes, Deidara was once again reminded that he was small compared to other people. This had happened before, when he had gazed into the eyes of Itachi Uchiha and saw him like a god. And now Deidara was hesitant to make a move, seeing what this man could do. Fear ran down his spine. That brat took down Sasori army by himself. He really is the son of that bastard Minato. Even in death, his son still haunts Hidden Stone Shinobi. Even now, there is no way I can fight him and take him down on my own, especially with the entire village alerted. Jamity cursed as he pulled out a clay doll from his pouch. This was the last resort. You've gotten really strong, Kyuubi brat. I must say I never expected this in the slightest. Your art was a brilliant illumination and then gone. And that's something I can respect. However, we are on the opposite side of things. And I'm sure that Sasori had that in his mind as well when he saw that in his final moments. However, let's see you save the village from this. As he held out his hand, Naruto looked at the strange object in his hand. As he released it, its chakra following, pumping out. The thing grew to the size of a massive building. As Deidara laughed the moment that touched the ground, the village will be wiped away, he said as he flew higher. And then you will witness my true art. He laughed psychotically. The village was in fear right now and panic, knowing that they could not survive such a blast. People running and shouting. Everyone, Naruto shouted. An obscene amount of chakra exploding from him, cracking the ground. I'll protect you all. They all came to a stop hearing that. As they stopped completely feeling hope. Despite the utter ball of death about to touch down, they felt hope. Naruto blasted off the ground, leaping up towards a monstrosity. Arriving towards the location, Naruto blurred through hand signs. Before he held his hand out into mid-air, kanji spread from his hand, from the center and spread, as a huge bomb descended. The moment it touched it, the bomb started to get absorbed into it. Everyone watched as the bomb started to be absorbed. Naruto started to strain. He was only using his chakra throughout this entire fight, using the high level water ninjutsu especially within the desert. Not to mention using the Hiraishin, as he used so much time to take down 100 opponents, and now absorbing this gigantic massive chakra that would boom any second. He started to sweat and pant. Space-time. Teleport barrier, said Naruto. The thing vanished. In the far distance, an explosion went off. A gigantic mushroom cloud went up in the sky. Everyone was shocked as they saw the explosion that was meant to hit them, that would have erased them. As a shockwave spread throughout the village, everyone was shocked. Dragon, said Naruto as Boatman was by his side, the Jonin and Anbu commander. Send a message to Leaf to recall Gaara immediately. You are in charge until he returns. I won't be able to watch over the village for a few days. Boatmen were confused until they saw him falling, as he quickly catches Kazekage. That is when Dragon noticed a scar on Naruto's hand. Sasori had cut him. He was poisoned this entire time while fighting, yet he still was on his feet. And the amount of chakra that he used up in the battle, it had taken so much out of him. The water jutsu to even stop those explosions. As he quickly called out for the medics. Time skip. Hokage's tower. Council chambers. The council was sitting as they wait for the delegation from Sen to arrive, and whispering to one another how they could add some benefit to themselves as well. Some more, to be exact. The elders were discussing about the marriage proposal. With this happening, the wave and the spring would become their allies once again, and gaining the hidden sand newfound sealing skills, upgrading barrier, and security sealing. As Tsunade was pissed off hearing them whisper amongst each other. Power-hungry bastard. They will sell their own children if it meant gaining more power. As she heard Koharu and Homura rant, she was not even paying attention to them. Her mind was wondering about Temari to be exact, and about her fiancé. From what she could see, the girl loved her fiancé. Just from the look on her face, she herself knew how it meant to be in love, because she was. And if she was right, it was. The Temperor Kazekage, and the one that created the barriers. However, something about the ring was bugging her. The design, to be exact. She was definitely sure that it was a platinum ring with the shape being in a nine-tailed fox, the swirl. There was 9 curving upwards to the diamond, and the red ruby in the center. But why would she wear such a strangely designed ring, unless it meant something to her or her fiancé? But the only person that was associated with the 9 tails was... Could it be? Could it be that he's been in the sand this entire time? I hope he is. Please call me. If he's there, please let him be happy. But concerned if he's marrying Temari, things must be going well. All she wanted was for him to be happy. It's the least she could do, to make up for how powerless she was all those years ago to stop his banishment. As she hoped that he was alive out there, She was broken out of her thoughts as the room opened up. The envoys letting the delegation of the Sun enter inside. Temari was disgusted the way they looked at her like she was some kind of meat to be traded away. If they thought this marriage was going to be going through, they were sadly mistaken. As Temari and Gaara took their seats, Koharu, seeing the silence, decided to speak up. Kazekage-dano, as we had spoken yesterday, we are proposing to create a long-term alliance through a political marriage between your sister Temari and Sasuke Uchiha from our side, the last loyal Uchiha, the head of the Uchiha clan. The terms that we present are on the paper there. Gaara did not even look at it though as he handed it to Temari, as she was negotiator of the Sun. Temari took a pencil as she underlined several key points, as her blood was boiling as she read how the alliance would tilt everything within Konoha favor, as she then handed it back to Gaara. The council think they could outwit her and Gaara, seeing that they were much older. They thought it was because of their age that they could play them for fools. As Gaara turned his gaze towards the underlined parts that Temari had signed, and write a little note beside it for him to read over. As he started to go through them, the first one, the leaf, shall has a mutual alliance with the Wave and Sand, and any other trading alliance that the Sand might come across in the future. Next, the leaf shall share their information on seals with the Sand, and the same shall be done on the Sand side. Next, the village security shall be up to par with each other, to show the strength of each villages to the enemies. Next, mission from the trading partner shall be shared between the two villages to help solidify the relationship of the alliance. Next, the leaf shall provide the strength to the Sand in war times, and the same shall be said from the Sand side. Next, Temari shall have traveling rights on both villages, but any children of the Union shall be Konoha citizen. She shall provide with enough heirs to repopulate the Uchiha clan back to glory. Both villages will share their strategic intel on enemies and will exchange prisoners for the other village requirement for them. The leaf shall provide with their resources, and the same shall be done to the Sand with a price pre-disclosed by the leaf. The leaf will provide with the military strength that the Sand needs in extremely stressful time. And the last one, the leaf shall provide the Sand with medical knowledge to increase the medical powers of the Sand. Gaara clutched the thing in his hand as he read the notes that his sister had written down, as he turned his gaze towards the council. So let me get this straight, he said, in a calm manner. The leaf get our seals in our security ceiling, our barrier skills, our mission, our trading agreements, our allies, my sister hand in marriage to the last Uchiha, for breeding purposes, Gaara said, our resources, at a pre-disclosed prices. Hearing that, Sneddy slammed her hand on the decks as she turned her glare towards the elders. None of this was discussed with me, she said. How dare you change and add so many points without my permission? As Koharu tried to calm the situation down. Now, Sneddy, we add them for the betterment of our villages and show the alliance will stand strong together. Oh, said Gaara, the Sand is benefiting. The only thing I see in our benefit is Temari get traveling rights between the villages, but her children are loyal to the leaf. Your militaristic help and some medical knowledge that you shall decide on. How much is here? Do you take us for fools, he asks. Kazekage-dano, we can discuss these points and negotiate further. There's no need for harsh words, Koharu said. She said, trying to calm him down, as the council was not pleased that Temari was able to see all the small points that they had in there and point them out to Gaara. Danzo was intending to gain the bloodline, as he believed, with time, that the bloodline would resurface back into the children of the, Uchiha. And the Sand Girl, seeing that she was a sister of the Kazekage, and the bloodline came straight down from their father, as he believed that it would resurface back in the children. That is why that point was added in for her to help him repopulate the Uchiha clan. Sneddy was pissed off on how they were screwing up the relationship with the last neutral village that they had. As Gaara got to his feet as he threw the scroll away. It is clear that you and your village are taking me and my sister for young fools, Hokage-dano, he said. I am sorry, but there shall be no marriage with my sister or any shinobi from the Sand after this. I was already against this political marriage, but you have just destroyed the chance of there being a good alliance to strengthen both our villages. As Sneddy got to her feet, I apologize, Kazekage-dano, she said, but these points were added without my knowledge, believe me. Do not act in haste. Our village have been all comrades in war, and have seen many trials and problems together through, and we always come out winning. I do not care for this political marriage, but the alliance is something that will benefit both our villages. Your council action prove otherwise, Gara said. Yes, you're correct, she said, and I have allowed them too much leeway for too long now. It's time I take matters into my own hands. Please believe me when I say that I had the best intentions for this alliance, and for both sides. So please don't let the villages suffer because of some idiotic fools. As Gara stood in silence for a while until Temari gave him a look, telling him to do what he thought was right. Very well, he said. I trust you, Hokage-dano. You alone on your word. If you genuinely care for your village and this alliance, then we shall continue our talk in the third part of Chunin exams that will be held in the San. I have appointed Temari as the liaison between the San and the Leaf, and she shall be leading the third part of the exam as well. We shall continue these talks then. For now, let us discuss the matters of Chunin exams, he said. However, the door was burst open. Snather was already furious because of everything as she cracked the table. I swear this village is taking me too lightly, and insubordination is becoming a new habit here. Chunin, she said. Whoever the hell you are, you better have a good reason for barging in here, or I will break your ribs and heal them and break them again until I cannot break them anymore, she said in anger, as the Chunin was backing away in fear, not knowing what he did to receive such wrath. As Gara seemed to be happy with this turn of events, that she was taking control of the village, the Chunin was stuttering. Okage-sama, it's a message from the San, sent by one of their fastest carrier birds. It's an emergency, with a high-level seal on it for the Kazekage, he said, as his whole body was trembling. As Gara took the scroll from the man, Uzumaki, you better have not blown up a part of the village, and give me some more paperwork, Gara thought to himself as he wondered, what was this problem? As he unsealed it, Gara-sama, the village yesterday was invaded by the Akatsuki. Naruto-sama took on the invaders. The two members were identified as Deidara as the Mad Bomber, and Sorcerer of the Red Sand. They engaged Naruto-sama but he held them back while securing the village. Sorcerer has been killed. Deidara has escaped without a trace, using an explosive that would have destroyed at least half of the village if Uzumaki-sama had not done something to send it away in the far distance. He was poisoned by sorcery, but with the 9 tails inside of him, his demonic chakra is purging the poison, but it will take some time, given the potency of the poison. And he also pushed himself quite a bit in the battle, over and exerting himself, and with the poison mixed in, he's unconscious. The medic said that he will be fine, but as his last orders I was told to call you, and take charge until he wakes up, or until you arrive. The village is currently in a state of emergency protocol. There were no casualties, and minimum damage to the village. Uzumaki-sama defended everyone with great courage and skills. Sign, Dragon, the Envoy Commander. Seeing the look on his face, Temari asked him what was wrong as he used wind chakra as he shredded the letter to pieces. He then looked up. I'm sorry, Hokage-dano, he said, but I must return back to my village immediately. There is a matter of great importance that need me back. She looked towards him. Is everything alright? My village was attacked yesterday by the Akatsuki. Hearing that, her eyes went wide. As Hayashi spoke up, who were the invaders? Kazekage-dano, he said. Deidara, the Mad Bomber, and Sorcerer of the Red Sand. The council was shocked to hear that. Both of those men were capable of destroying and creating a large chaos, as he wondered how much damage the village must be in, until Gara continued. My friend that I left as a Kazekage in my stead fought them both to a standstill. Sorcerer has been killed, but Deidara has escaped, using a great explosive to hide said escape. However, my friend was able to protect the village, but he's currently in recovery right now, so I must return. I've been recalled to take charge. The room was speechless after hearing that, and Shikaku was the one to speak up. So let me get this straight. Your temporary replacement fought off two S-rank missing ninjas, who are both capable of causing battalion destruction, cause worth of chaos. Then he killed Sorcery, and Deidara escaped, and from what you've been saying, I presume that there was no casualties. As Gara simply nodded, as Temari seemed to be worrying though. Is he gonna be okay, she asks. He'll be fine, Temari. He was poisoned, but he'll be fine. You know poison will not keep him down for too long. But until Gar was cut off as Temari started to walk. Where are you going? Where do you think, she said. I gotta get home. My fiance is injured. I gotta be by his side, she said. But what about Chun exams? You're in charge. You need to... She turned her gaze upon the entire council. To hell with the village diplomacies. I am going to his side, and I'm not leaving until he's alright. If you want to stop me, then try. Gar sighed as he turned towards Sneda, who was actually smirking though. A girl that can stand up for herself even in front of two Kages. As Temari left, I am sorry, Hokage-dano, but it seems like Shikamaru will have to take care of the arrangements for a few days until she can come back. It's quite alright. I can see that she cared for him deeply, and even if she was forced to stay, her attention would not be into things. It will be about him, back at the sand. So Shikamaru can take care of the arrangements, and she can review them once she returns. Garen nodded as both him and Kankuro left. Once they were gone though, Sneda turned her gaze as she summoned her envoys. Lock the door, she said. The envoys went as they locked the doors. The members were confused. Now, let us talk about insubordination to your Kage and new rules that will be implemented from today on, she said with a frosty tone and a very dangerous gaze in her eyes. But guys, be interested right here. If you want to see the next person do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification say posted. Remember, share to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs of the other channels. I already posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto had this 6-size Sharingan, so go ahead, check out that and enjoy guys. And also don't forget to stay in tune for the rest of what is coming your way. Yes, I indeed have 4 channels. 4 channels that I post what if on every single day for you guys to enjoy. So go ahead, smash that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.